Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the RZNGMEN Show. And I've got a very, very special guest with me, Mr. Stefan. We call him Stefan. His dad called him Stefan, but actually his dad called him Maurice.
Yes.
Dr. Gartrell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
You know what? You actually are on a flagship with me this time, Steph, because I had never really told anybody outside of myself. Well, I should say this way, I hadn't shared with anybody, but I actually was desiring to have a 1-hour show.
Really?
Yeah, and this is Answer to Prayer. And
wow.
I've actually been the one to hold up. I should have actually probably had product probably 4 months ago.
And now you're here. Well, you're here now.
Yeah, well, it was what Drake says, started from the bottom, now we're here, right?
You did it. I'm so proud of you, Craig.
I'm so thankful. But
oh
today,
my gosh, people can't see you crying.
oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? I got tissues and everything all over the place. My makeup, my mascara run and everything. Not playing. But seriously though. Now, for the listeners on Truth FM, you've been on Truth FM before, so a lot of the listeners have heard about your story, and I know you have played some professional baseball. And who have you played for? And you've played for what two professional teams?
The Chicago White Sox. Yeah, the Chicago White Sox and the Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves. Now, I know back in the day, when we were together before, I didn't share the fact that when I played baseball, community league baseball in San Diego, I wasn't probably near as gifted as you because I didn't get drafted. Now, my brother, however, he actually got drafted by a major league team, but my parents wouldn't let him play. So,
what?
Dude,
Aww.
yeah, and that's kind of bananas. And he's still scarred to this day. I think that's what's wrong with him right now, you know.
That would make me upset, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's a lot of hard work. Very few people get drafted. It's a very small percentage of baseball players actually get drafted.
You know, and I honestly don't remember which team drafted him. And I want to say it was the Reds, and I could be jacked up. And you know, if he listens to the program, he'll be able to correct me. But I want to say he got drafted by the Reds. And to give you the pedigree and the time period, because he's older than I am significantly, he's like close to 90. But anyway. No, I'm just for real.
I was saying, dang. How old were your parents when you were born?
They were 150. It was Methuselah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Methuselah and his wife Shepherd. Anyway, you know, because so and so begot such and such, they begot so and so, and here we are. You know, they had me when they was already having dusty days. So, but anyway, he played with Alan Trammell in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's the time period, and he actually got drafted in front of Trammell, but he did not get a chance to accept, and sign. And
that if he's upset and has some scars, that they're deep scars, especially knowing the career that Alan Trammell had.
Yeah.
He was in the league for 15 years.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, he was a good guy.
That made me upset.
yeah, he still talks about it. Like I said, he still talks about it to this day, and I don't blame him. You know, I was a big Reds fan, and because my mom and dad are my mom is actually from Cincinnati, and back in '75 when I was coming through, I was 6, and I remember, back in the day, this Red Stadium, what was it, Riverfront or whatever, was downtown, and back at that time of the day, you could probably see anybody because the stadium was built right up to the street, and
that's so cool.
I remember there was a day we were driving past the stadium, and this pink Ford Runabout. Now, for those who are not old enough to know, that would have been a small 2-door hatchback piece of junk Ford, and it was hot pink. And this thing came racing past us and cut us off and turned left into the stadium. Well, as he drove past me, Pete Rose.
Oh my God!
Yeah, because that was back in the Big Red Machine days. Cause I knew everybody back in the day.
Big Red Machine. That was a great. Joe Morgan, Pete Rose,
George Foster, David Concepcion, Johnny Bench.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my group. Actually, I actually had a T-shirt back in the day as a kid.
Baseball to watch.
I can't talk bad about it, right? Because I got a baseball player like yourself on the phone. But as a kid, that's what inspired me to even play, is because I saw that, and my parents, raised me on that. But talk about it. When you were growing up as a kid, looking to even play baseball, who were some of your influences and aspirations? I know you're from the Bay, so it has to be somebody from Frisco. So who inspired you to want to even play the game?
Well, I was a huge, so this is gonna sound funny, but I was a really big Chili Davis fan.
Chili Davis, yes sir.
Chili Davis,
yes sir.
Yeah, Chili Davis, and because I remember my first, like, this story's been told to me, I don't know how many times, but my first big league game, I think I was around like 1 or 2, and he was playing for the Giants.
Yep.
And they just announced him. One, I'm a little black kid, so I was like, oh, there's a black player.
Yeah.
And then 2, his name's Chili, and I was like, I like food. I don't know. So I was just like, I just loved his name. And then, like, to make matters better, not worse, like, he was a great player. He was a good player. So
yeah,
it was like an easy thing to like. Like, oh, I like Chili Davis. He's awesome. He's good. He's black, and his name is Chili.
And you like Chili?
So,
you like Chili Davis?
I like Chili.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so you just started playing. So when you were playing, did you imagine yourself in the stands and pretending you were a player like a Chili Davis when you were playing at the house?
I did. So but I used to copy everybody's batting stance. I tried to do his. He was a switch hitter, so it was tough with him.
Yeah.
And I couldn't switch it. I'm a terrible switch hitter, so, like, I've tried. I can't do it. I would copy Matt Williams.
Yep.
I'd bite my shirt, like, on my shoulder, like that's what his whole thing was. Tuck his chin into his shoulder and bite it to keep his head down. I copied Will Clark. Like, stand up, like, really smooth swing.
Yeah, really strong, really straight and tall.
Yep. And then I tried to do Kevin Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Mitchell's is tough because he's like all muscle.
Yeah, he is.
And I couldn't really do that.
Oh, you couldn't quite fake the muscle spot. I got you.
But he was just like the way he swung a bat. When you look at Kevin Mitchell. Not Mark McGwire, even though Mark McGwire, like, the whole steroids thing and everything, but he was big.
Now, which
he's kind of fluid.
But which Mark McGwire are you talking about? You talking about pre-steroid Mark or post-steroid Mark?
I don't even know if there's a difference. Is there a beginning in it? I don't know.
You know, kind of blurs together.
Wherever because he swung, he still kind of had a fluid swing.
Yes, he did.
But, like, Mark McGwire, but I would say Jose Canseco and Kevin Mitchell, their swings were just so, like, violent that I was like, I don't even know if I could copy that. I'd hurt myself swinging that hard.
Yeah, I hurt myself just thinking about that one because I remember those games when Canseco used to play for the A's back in the day. That's when I really followed him then. And then, of course, you got into the whole McGwire and Bonds and, well, this is, post-steroid Bonds, right?
There's pre and post.
Yeah.
That one there is a pre and post steroids because you can see the difference.
Oh yeah. Size matters.
But with Bonds, I was like, I couldn't do his stance and everything, but I tried, like, because I was older when Bonds was with the Giants, and so what I would do is try to focus on, like, his mental approach and stuff. Because, like, whenever he would talk about hitting, which he didn't talk about hitting that much, because he was like, I'm keeping this a secret.
Exactly.
But whenever he did, I would try to, like, take it, like, just hear what he was talking about and his mental approach to the game and why, like, he was able to walk so much and then hit a home run and, like, he'd get one pitch per game and he wouldn't miss it. I was like, how do you focus that?
He's got a great eye. He's got a great eye. I know when I was growing up trying to play, my goal was I wanted to hit like George Foster. So I used to stand because I was a right-handed player. Stand up tall. In fact, I remember this one year. My brother actually bought a black bat like Foster. That's how dedicated we were, and that was wood. Of course, we weren't playing wood bats in the day, but it was just the whole thought and fun of just he kind of cock that right shoulder kind of back and like a little chicken wing back on the backside, and then when the ball come in, you get to launch and get into the shot, big wide stride. But my favorite player, I liked him when he was in. All the way around. But if I had to pick a player, it was going to be Dave Winfield. Man.
That is a great pick. That is a great pick.
Man, great person. I remember his smile. He just looked like he was just always so full of life, so full of energy. Played with the Padres. Of course, there was the latter stages of him, right? I mean, I shouldn't say latter stages. But he didn't really become Winfield till he left. I mean, he was Winfield, yes, but he became legendary when he was no longer a Padre.
Yeah, when he was with the Twins.
Yeah, well, everybody was legendary when they're not a Padre.
I was a Padre.
Yeah, we get rid of our legends, right? And I'm born and raised in San Diego, so I can talk a lot of trash. Matter of fact, we're gonna stop right there because I got to tell you, I got a chance to meet Gene Richards. He was a member he came to our church a couple of times down in San Diego, so I got a chance to meet him in person. And he's a really great dude. He's taller than I expected him to be. I kept thinking TV would be short.
Yeah, most baseball players, like just athletes, people don't expect them to be taller. Like it's because they're around a lot of other people who are tall, so it doesn't look like they're tall.
Yeah, Dave Winfield was tall though, because I'm 6'3".
Oh, he's huge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
I think Dave Winfield's like 6'6".
Yeah, yes. Yeah, yes.
5'6".
Yeah, because I wanted to be, man, every time I used to go to the batting cages and step into the plate, that was my goal. I'm Dave Winfield, but yeah, I got to have that George Foster chicken wing because that's how I was raised, you know, and wanted to play shortstop like Davey Concepcion. Or, you know, never wanted to catch. I played catcher one time, man, without my glasses on because the catcher got hurt, and yeah, that was bananas. I couldn't see the ball until it got about 6 or 8 feet in front of me. It was scary. Scary as all get out.
I've caught one time and I stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this again.
No.
You have to have like some sort of crazy mindset to be a catcher.
Yeah, you do.
Like you really do.
Yeah, you do. Sit there squatted back there to do with a bat right in front of you and it gets throwing a bean at you, especially if it's a hard pitcher. Yeah, in fact, we'll be right back with you.
The Bible says in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose.
Yeah, SCP, KD, Robert Earl Dean. Got a message for you. It's not over until God says it's over. Let's go.
Times may be tough, you may be going through. God sent me with this message to encourage you. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good. God has a master plan, the power is in his hand. Oh no, no, no. Trust and know. Don't let the trials it's not over till God says it's over. Don't let no situations or challenges surround you till God says it's over. No need to let worry or doubt try to stress you out. It's the trick of the enemy. Resist him and he will flee. His promises are true. He will come through. He said if you acknowledge him, he will direct your path. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. No matter what you're going through, said it ain't over. No, said it ain't over. No, it ain't over. No, 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 it ain't over. I can tell you what he did for me, he'll do it for you. All you gotta do is let him carry you through. I came to tell you it ain't over. No, 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 no. I can believe, I can receive. He did it for me, he'll do it for you. God will bring you through. I have not seen, ears have not heard. Ask the woman with the issue of blood. Ask the children of Israel. I know he can, and I know he will.
Stefan, you still out there with me?
I'm here. I'm still here.
Now, just catch our listeners up. If you missed our first segment, we talked about baseball. We were just laughing and joking. Again, RZNGMEN, this is a place where we have real talk about real life. And, I hope you guys continue to hang with us and become regular listeners. And you get a chance to hear great guests like Stefan. Now, Stefan, you've played for the White Sox and you've played for the Braves. Now, talk to me about that. I mean, you've had an opportunity to play at the highest levels. What is it all about? And what has it done anything for you for where you are right now?
For sure. I'd say that the coolest part about playing professionally is that you don't really realize how hard it actually is and how much effort you have to put into it and how much effort you see the superstars and the Hall of Famers put into it. You kind of you think it looks effortless.
Yeah.
But it really isn't. Like they put blood, sweat, and tears literally into their craft and to hone it. And the biggest thing that helped me with where I'm at now is that it created this type of work ethic in me that no matter what I'm doing or where I go, it's now a part of me that I will work this hard to make sure things get done. And I think that is the biggest transition for where I'm at right now, because I think we talked about this last segment and it was like our little cliffhanger that doing what I'm doing now is the hardest thing I've ever done. And that's crazy because being a baseball player, being an athlete and all that stuff, people don't realize how hard it actually is.
Yeah.
And I think that is to say that running this program, Ripple Effect 22, this youth program, being that it's the hardest thing that I've done other than hitting a 102-mile-an-hour fastball from Aroldis Chapman, which was borderline impossible.
Wow.
And I'd say that is easier than what I'm doing now.
Really?
Because, it's crazy. Because what I'm doing now, you are basically trying to motivate kids to actually focus on not just the things that are happening right now, and not just on their own circumstances, but on what God has for them in the future.
Now tell us about, you mentioned it, and I cut you off. You mentioned it, Ripple Effect 22. Hey, tell the listeners, what is that? What do you do with it? And how did you really feel? How did you get started, basically? How did you feel like you're supposed to do that?
So, Ripple Effect 22 is a faith-based youth mentorship program out of San Francisco in which we help youth find their God-given purpose, or either define their God-given purpose, because sometimes they don't need to find it. They know what it is. Just kind of need to understand how to work it out.
Sure.
And we pair them with mentors who are in the field that they feel like that they're either passionate about or that they're called to. And they give them the guidelines and the direction on what it takes and what they need to do to actually attain that goal. So it's really cool. It's like I said, the hard part is to really motivate these kids to actually want to do this, because they're thinking about every other thing. I don't know, like video games, sports, Snapchat, Instagram. There's so many distractions now. It's ridiculous. That they forget that that there's a certain time that they should probably have some sort of direction. Wake up with a purpose. Wake up with not just with a purpose, but wake up on purpose. Have a plan. And that in itself is a tough thing to motivate. But I've been given, thank God, I've been given a story from my own life that is basically our curriculum on how to do that, because like we talked about, God has basically put me in this situation, in these circumstances where I'm able to look back at what has gone in my own life through baseball, really, and how it ties in into how I can help kids. Because I'm like I said to many people, I'm born and raised in San Francisco, not rich. People, I have to keep saying this over and over, not rich. I was born in Lakeview. When I say it to people who are in San Francisco, they're like, oh, Lakeview. When I grew up, wasn't the nicest area.
Yeah, because now for those who don't know, is Lakeview the Bay Area's Compton or what is it?
Lakeview, well, I'd say Hunters Point is the Bay Area's Compton, because Hunters Point goes even worse.
Wow.
Lakeview, I would say, is more like Inglewood.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Where like in certain parts, if you go on because San Francisco's interesting, that it's a compacted city where right next to a mansion, a block away, is the ghetto.
Wow.
Like, that's just how it works.
Sure.
And that's how it was for us. Like, where I lived in an okay house. All I had to do, but right next to, or like not even next door, across the street from me, was a drug dealer. So, and her child would come over. Anna, was like a friend of mine when I was a kid, would come over to our house so that she didn't have to be over there.
Wow.
And so it was like the stuff like we would, like I saw a lot of stuff as a kid, and the thing that changed for me was that, one, my parents, and I spoke to Bear about this when I was on the show with her. My parents are great. They're strong Christians. They're super, super committed to not just their relationship with God, but their relationship with each other,
mm-hmm.
which then trickles down to how committed they are to their children. So they're awesome. So that was one thing that I had different than majority of my friends in my area, in my hood, because they're just, a lot of them came from broken homes. So I have a strong family background. The other is that I went to church. My parents, my dad was a choir director, so we were at church quite a bit for choir practices and
prayer meeting,
other things.
Everybody meeting.
Prayer meetings, yes, all that stuff. People like to say I was like born on a pew because I was always there. But the other thing was I had baseball, and me playing baseball kept me so much out of trouble.
Sure.
Playing sports, period, that the rest of my friends who are in my same area got into trouble, had issues, had certain brushes with the law.
Sure.
I had all this stuff where I didn't have it because I didn't have time.
No, that makes sense.
Like, that was like really what it broke down to. Like, I was school, church, or church, school, sports. Sometimes not in that order, you know. Like, but I had so much stuff to do, and I was so focused and driven on it because it would be different if it was like somebody was forcing baseball down my throat,
mm-hmm.
but it was something I wanted, and I felt like I was called to. Like, I had a talent and I had an ability that was God-given, and I wanted to, and it was fun for me to practice, to play, to do these things. So I didn't have time. Like, I wasn't distracted by the things that were happening around all the time. So that's really what our curriculum is about, is being able to, maybe it's not baseball. For some kids, it actually is baseball, which is cool in our program.
Sure.
But for the kids for some of them, it's writing. For some of them, it's playing the guitar. For some of them, it's they want to be a lawyer. So now they're studying about politics and focus on what they need to do with that. And we have other programs out here that we're partnered up with to help those kids out, because I'm not a lawyer, but I do know there's a program here that works really well with helping kids who want to be lawyers, and we have a partnership with them. Well, so it's really cool that what we're trying to get these kids to be like, okay, instead of just being or existing, like, or for a lot of them surviving, like let's get you to the point of thriving.
Exactly.
You know, let's get you further, not just being. And our biggest, one of our biggest, what slogans that we kind of push out there is, it's not just about success. We're trying to shift from success to being significant.
Wow. Now say that again for this little listeners to really get that. Let's just drive that point home.
Okay. So shifting from success to significance, because success usually comes with some sort of value. Significance is priceless.
Wow, that's a
when you're successful, like, people think of it like how much money you make, what's the car you have, who you're married to, like all these different things. When you're significant, it's the legacy you leave that can last forever. Like, who did you touch? Who did you impact right there? Like, what did you do that's going to do something that's going to make a change? That's when you're significant.
No, that's amazing, because with Ripple Effect 22, you're making a difference. Now, you guys how long has your program been in process?
So we've been in effect for a full year now. So it's been awesome. It's been a long, not a long first year. It's been actually pretty fast, but it's been one of the hardest working first years I've ever done in my life. It's labor of love, but it's a labor of love that I love to labor for, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
It's just, yeah.
That's good stuff. And you're listening to the RZNGMEN Show. Their host, Craig Carlisle, and I'm, got on radio, on phone with me, and it's a part of this program. Stefan Gartrell. He's the founder and director and chief cook and bottle washer of Ripple Effect 22. And
yeah.
Now we all know we need to get behind Ripple Effect 22. You and I working together on some other program aspects that are in partnership and bolted on with Ripple Effect 22.
Yep.
And everyone that's listening, if you've ever met this man, or if you just heard this man now on Truth FM on 2 separate shows, pouring his heart out for the youth of today. He's a parent. He's been a professional athlete. He's a scholar. So he's not a scrub by any stretch of the imagination. This young man is putting it down every day. So as a community, we need to get behind him. We need to get involved. And Stefan, we're going to take a break again very shortly. Then we're going to come back. I want you to tell all the listeners here and tell us about what's coming up for Ripple Effect 22. Right. And with that, we're going to really drive home the point of how people can get involved. Because I think sometime when people hear you, me, other people, other great programs, think, oh, that's nice, I'm sure they're going to be okay. Well, in this modern era, whether it be political climate, if you're political or not, and we don't cover that in our show, we need to get involved with not just our community, but our youth's community. So this is not a cultural thing. This is a community thing. Our kids need help. Ripple Effect 22 is out there in the camps and in the detention centers. They're in the schools, and they are making a difference. Stefan Gartrell and his staff and their team, they're making a difference. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about what's upcoming and how the community can get involved. Again, this is the RZNGMEN Show. This is Craig Carlisle. We'll be right back.
In terms of your diet, you made a commitment in terms of exercising. You made a commitment in terms of going back to school. You made a commitment about your marriage. You made a commitment as a father.
Man, I'm about to be late again. Didn't shave and I didn't get to bathe again. Just a fresh pair of drawers with the same old pants. In my car trying to drive, eating raisin bread. Didn't brush my teeth and smelling musty. I got a dozen stains, I'm looking bummy. Man, I swear the underneath the same as ugly. I hope you understand me like some bus streets. Getting on, playing motivation videos, but I'm soaked in anguish and the pain has got me empty, bro. Me and baby ain't been really flinting, so I'm flipping through the TV late night with us and me like I'm Arsenio. Whoa, please check my medulla. I'm driving to work and my mind's a computer. Control or delete, but it just won't reboot up. My mind's on the blue screen, this virus is too dumb. Guess I didn't trust the process. In the game, don't know the object. I'ma give you this Game Boy, put it in the middle of your hand, make your palms sweat. At your fingertips is your options. Do it right and in the right order. Do it all the way, not kinda sorta. Do it even though it hurts, and I promise you will be a connoisseur of the finer things that give you more. These are real man commandments, how you fly than Peter Pan. Wise words from a decent man. King Solomon with them proverbs, what he was saying. Wisdom, the gift to keep repaying. Yeah, these are real man commandments, how you fly than Peter Pan. Wise words from a decent man. King Solomon with them proverbs, what he was saying. Wisdom, the gift to keep repaying. I've been trying something simple. I decided there's something to live for. Get a slice of the pie like I'm Kimbo. Take one step at a time, keep the tempo. I ain't rushing, dawg.
The process.
And I ain't stumbling, dawg.
Just the process.
Whatever I come across,
the process.
they think it's luck, but no.
Don't rush the process.
Yeah, now that we done with the intros, let me tell you what this whole thing was meant for. You ready? It's simple. It's your big bro trying to get some wisdom on you, get you in the win mode. Step out of your comfort zone into the end zone. Step one, to fear God's where you get the knowledge. Fear don't mean that you terrified, but just that you respect them and give them honor and check it with any problems. Cause you can have it all planned out, move up in the management, got cash in your account, your retirement, a graduation cap, imagine gown in your salary, a salad greens, and apple cider lounge in your house, and your family is style your healthy sound. You just ran a couple miles, you ain't never slowing down, but you get a call, there's been an accident, and now you're bound. Now your nose in control, he's in the clouds. Funny how that works out. And I know I'm probably sounding like a jerk now. I'm just saying you ain't gotta pull the hearse out. For you to know you ain't the one who made the earth round. Yeah, I don't know why they be flexing when they biceps as weak as a T-Rex is lit to the sky, and you'll find that you'll see heaven. Man, don't be shy, just say please help me, please help me. I've been trying something simple. I decided there's something to live for. Get a slice of the pie like I'm Kimbo. Take one step at a time, keep the tempo. I ain't rushing off
The process.
and I ain't stumbling off.
What's the process?
Whatever I come across,
The process.
the thing is looking off.
Don't rush the process.
Look a man in his face and shake his hand firm. Stay away from the fast girls. She already got a man, but she mad thirst. And she been planning her attack like a master. She a mastermind, but doesn't have a spine. She is disaster bound. She on a fast decline. This is a pattern I have witnessed half the time. Make brothers crash and burn for letting passions fly. But she sexy than a mother though. Sexy weapon, we need gun control. Ayy, she be smelling all good. Think she tell you all good. Booty looking like an onion, I'm uncomfortable. Run away and escape with your life. Why should you just throw it away? There's a price, man. Stop playing them games. Go back home to your wife and trust the process. Water your own grass, it'll grow fast. If you caught them lawnmower where your nose at, you'll be so mad. In my yard asking where the hoes at. Get your own and get your toe tag, play it hold that. Why build a castle just to carry it to the ground? And suffer the embarrassment to carry that around. And your seeds are all depressed cause the parents ain't around. Just slow it down. Trust the process.
All right, we're back. And again, this is Craig Carlisle, and we're on the RZNGMEN Show, and this is one of our inaugural episodes, and we're excited to have Stefan Gartrell on phone with us as our special guest, and we're in segment 3. And Stefan, we need to make sure that people understand what the need is with Ripple Effect 22 and your program and what's coming up. So tell us, how can we get involved? What is up for Ripple Effect 22? Tell us about some of your programs, and tell us how people can really get involved in supporting.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity. The coolest thing, the way that we like to put it for people to get involved is you can either support us through effort. That would be volunteerism, mentorship, especially if you're in the Bay Area. That would be fantastic to just reach out to us, contact us on our website, rippleeffect22.org, and just send us some information saying that you would like to support us, like I said, with volunteer or to be a mentor and what you do, and then we do background checks and all that stuff. But we'd have like a small conversation because I'd want to know you and get to know what you bring. But if you are not able to be involved, because this is a part of it where people kind of miss out, that they don't understand the importance of what this ministry and what this program means. I was talking to one of our board members 2 days ago, and he was saying that if you were able to help yourself, like when you were a kid, so this is for all the listeners, when you were a kid and you can think about all the problems that you went through and all the issues that happened to you when you were a kid, how beneficial it would have been if you had somebody who was able to give you direction so you didn't have to go through that.
But that's huge, though. That's huge. Yeah. Because what people don't understand about your program, because we haven't touched yet on who your audience is. Because yes, you guys are in the schools, yes, but you guys go to juvenile detention centers.
Yes, we do.
So your program is making a difference to make sure that for some of these disenfranchised kids whose parents have tossed them away, whose parents were already in the system, and so I understand. Yeah, okay. So you think, okay, well, I'm not in the system. I don't understand. I don't come from the streets or the areas and the boroughs like Stefan has come from. But a lot of us have children, and we've all been a child before. And we understand what it is. Had we had someone like you to have reached out and taken an interest in us, I tell you what, if each one can teach one in that area, in that ray, it would make such a ripple effect in their lives that you wouldn't have the same numbers. You would start to see diminishing numbers in juvenile detention centers, which in turn would have diminishing numbers into the major penitentiaries and prisons. And that's what you're all about, is trying to make that ripple so we can take that little pebble in the stream and make it ripple out across people's lives. Is that fair or no?
That is exactly that's why it's even called Ripple Effect 22, is because it's that one act. You don't know that one act that you may not think of it as being extremely significant. You don't know that you coming into, for instance, what Craig is talking about, everybody, is the partnership that actually he and I and Shelty and Alan Chua from Restored Me work together to create Block to Block. We get to go into those correctional facilities and speak with these kids that might not even be like complete mentorship in the sense of you having to be there every day, talking to them all the time and walking with them in every aspect. It could be just, you said one thing that creates that paradigm shift that just where they're like, what? And they get it.
Yeah.
And it starts that whole that detour that their life was going down one road, and then all of a sudden you put this down there in front of them and say, you know what? You are better than this. You can do something better.
Yeah.
And I can help you.
Yep.
All of a sudden they decided, you know what? I'm not going to go there anymore. And that ripple, you don't know. Then with that one kid, then they decide to pour into someone else, and then that person pours into someone else, and then from a ripple it turns into a wave, and from a wave it turns into a tsunami. And that's
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So with those parents and people out there who are able to give, some of us out there are just not able to give that time. For one, if you're not in the Bay Area, you think, well, I would love to help and support, but I don't live in the Bay. Or if you're in the Bay, it's like, you know what, I just don't have the time. I know there's a way to financially support the event, your ministry, your organization, Block to Block, Ripple Effect 22. Tell the listeners, how can we support monetarily? Because I know you have an event coming up very soon, as well as being an annual monthly support partner. Tell us, how can we help?
So there's multiple ways, which is awesome, because we're trying to make sure that this is as what's the right word I want to say, as easy as possible for everyone who wants to be involved and wants to support. One, you can go to our website, rippleeffect22.org. They have there's a donate button, and the funds go straight to us. It's very easy, very simple.
I need people to really, I can't stress enough, because like we were talking off air, and I think it's very key for people to understand. Stefan, you don't make it look like you're new. It's just smooth with you. You just smooth like that. Because I thought when we first met on the phone, almost 4 months ago, I thought, oh, this cat's program's been running for years. We're just kind of coming alongside him and kind of joining a ship that's already well away from port. But people don't understand is that you were given the vision to have this and do this. In fact, we're going to talk about that a lot in our next segment, of how the Lord gave you the vision to do this and how it speaks to you, because it goes right into our last segment, which is the art of living. And we're going to spend time talking about life and living and how people like yourself motivate our youth, because our youth are dying today in great numbers, and they're not dying like back when I was. I'm 47, so back in the day for me, it was a lot of gang violence and murder crime. But now in this modern era, these are kids taking their own life for reasons that they say that they don't have any hope, or they think they don't have hope. So we're going to stress it. We're going to spend some time talking about the art of living and understanding that there's an art to living. And so we're going to talk about who motivates us. And I know for you and for the kids in your program, you are one of the ones that motivate them. So I need everyone to get involved and support Ripple Effect 22 and support this Block to Block program. And even if you can't, I need you to get online at rippleeffect22.com and donate.
.org.
Oh, sorry, .org, rippleeffect22.org. And you need to support, donate, because though you may not have one of your kids in a program like this, there's someone else's kid that's in a program like this. And I don't want to have had anyone had a child involved in something like this and there not be any help for them. We'll be right back in our final segment. Again, this is Craig Carlisle, and you're listening to the RZNGMEN Show. We'll be right back.
It was early one morning, just about the break of day, when Jesus, he touched me and he washed all my sins away. I started running, I started shouting, I had no time for doubting. You know that I got nothing but the Holy Ghost. Yeah, the Holy Ghost. It was early one morning, just about the break of day, when Jesus, he touched me and he washed all my sins. moving. Moving down in my soul. The Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. I can feel it moving. Moving down in my soul. It'll make you love your enemies. Talking about the Holy Ghost. Moving down in my soul. The Holy Ghost, it will keep me. The Holy Ghost. When I don't want to be kept. Moving down in my soul. I can feel it moving in my soul. Take control. Yeah, the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. Jeremiah said it's like fire down in my soul. From the top of my head, way down, way down, way down to the sole of my feet. Down in my soul. It's like the wheel in the middle. The Holy Ghost. In the middle of the wheel. Down in my soul. It makes you move sometimes. The Holy Ghost. When you don't feel like even moving. Down in my soul. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, it keeps on. Oh, it keeps on. The Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost. I got it. The Holy Ghost. I got it. Keeps on. Keeps on. In my soul. The Holy Ghost. Take control. The Holy Ghost. Keeps on. Nothing but. The Holy Ghost. Nothing but. The Holy Ghost. Nothing but. The Holy Ghost. It's a keeper. Keeps on. It keeps me when I'm all by myself. The Holy Ghost. It's a fixer. The Holy Ghost. It'll fix your heart. It'll fix your mind. It'll fix your soul. It keeps on. It keeps on. It never stops. It never changes. It remains the same. Oh, the Holy Ghost. Yeah.
The parents in there weren't nothing, and they don't understand what it took to cause that happen. What stone or pebble or boulder hit the water in front of these people, in front of their house?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that effect has rippled into some other child's life. I'm just so passionate about it because I've had my own boulder that's hit the waters in our house and rocked us. So I need people to really understand that there's organizations like yours, they're needed. People like the Red Cross, they're needed. The Blood Bank, they're needed. Susan G. Komen, they're needed. But we need to make sure people understand that synonymous with those type of levels is Ripple Effect 22.
Yeah.
They're just as needed, if not more so, than those organizations. So
we're trying to basically get them before they make those mistakes, that they have to go to those other programs.
Yeah.
And that's like our biggest thing. And if we can do that with one kid, that's what it really comes down to for us. If we can redirect the life of one child, it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
And that's our biggest thing.
That's the thing. And again, you're listening to the RZNGMEN Show. I'm your host, Craig Carlisle, and we're in our final segment, the art of living. And I didn't even tell Stefan I had already pressed record. We're already in.
Oops.
No. I don't want to worry about that, because sometimes when we're talking, again, this is a show where we have real talk about real life. So this is real life. And so off air, we were talking about, programs like yours, programs like the Red Cross, programs like whatever. It's easy for people to sit back and scoff and laugh or don't see the importance when you don't have a pebble or a rock hit your ground, hit your world, hit your water, and see the effect it has on you. And then all of a sudden you have a catastrophe, and then you're going to be needing and wanting a program like this. So we need to get involved now while people who haven't had a child go waiver. I mean, I've had a child that I'm dealing with right now that's just choosing to not do well in school. And so I don't know what the reasoning is, and I'm not arrogant enough to know and say as a parent that I've got this thing on lock and I'm not going to try. But doggone, I'm going to get involved. I'm going to stay involved with my child, because far too often as parents we let our children go too soon. And
yes, they do.
Yeah, and in the Bible, Jesus left the 99 and went to go find the one.
Yes, he did.
You know,
the one.
So those of you who are listening, if you have a 1 or 2 or 3 at your house that have gone wavering, and maybe you've gone to look for them and you stopped them, or maybe you've gone looking for them and they didn't want to come. You know what? That shepherd carries that staff along with him, not just for looks or for fighting off wolves. Sometimes that sheep doesn't want to pay attention, so that shepherd has to break the legs of that sheep so he can pick him up and carry him back to where they are. And programs like Ripple Effect 22, they're trying to get to these kids before that's required. They're trying to get to these kids in schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, so we can help shape their minds. And it's all a part of the art of living. We've got to have so the art of living, the art of living is basically based on 3 pillars. It's belief, peace, and love. And we have to believe that God is who he is, and he has a plan for us in our lives. So programs like Ripple Effect 22 have a beautiful plan for young people's lives. But you also have to be at peace with every part of the aspect of what God has given you in your life. So I know you have peace about your program, because in the last part is love. And I know you love people.
Yeah.
And with that God kind of love, tell our listeners, how did you feel that you had come to the point where Ripple Effect 22 was a must, and you developed that passion for it? What drives you, and who motivates you?
Well, to really get into that answer, to answer that question, I would actually have to start off with when I first got this call to do this program. So I was 16, I was in high school, and I had a dream. And it was definitely a God-given dream for sure. That I woke up, I had the name of the program, I had basically the curriculum of the program when I woke up. I was like, oh wow, this would be really cool. So even though this program is now a year old, I had been speaking it really by faith into existence since now I'm 33, so 17 years.
Wow.
Where I would tell people about what I was thinking, like about the program, like I want to do this program. Do you think this is a good idea? How can I do this? What would it look like this? In my mind, the program was going to be financed through me playing baseball. But I mean, what's that saying that when you make plans?
Oh yeah, a man makes his plan, but God orders his steps.
Exactly. So I'm over here thinking, like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. But God had different plans for it. Like, yes, he's going to be like, you're going to utilize baseball and your connections with and your work ethic and and your character and learning how to do, like you even said, like, it comes off like I know what I'm doing. And like I told you before, besides this being the hardest thing I've ever done, the reason why I'm not afraid of doing it is because I've already had to face guys throwing 102 miles an hour at me.
Yeah. Like
I've done things that are very hard, sometimes scary, but I've been able to, with the grace of God, be able to be somewhat successful.
Sure.
And so when I started this, I was like, you know what? I have to do this. And here's the even crazier part: how the timing of God was. So one of the major reasons why I stopped playing baseball was because I wanted to be around my family, my wife, and we just had our son, and I really wanted to, like, I was debating on going back and playing just because it was tough, because I didn't like being away.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the season, there's a church, we have a church conference that was on the day when I got back.
Okay.
So it was like perfect timing. It was divine appointment and everything. So there was a special conference going on where people from not my church, from a different state, who I've never met, they were doing a prophetic conference. Basically, long story short, they called my wife and I up to the church and basically started prophesying over us and in this program.
Wow.
They don't know us. And once again, I wanted to put to everyone out there, I had not made a decision on what I was going to do. But through this whole conference and through being prophesied over, talking about the program, I'm like, okay. So I'm starting to think, maybe God's telling me, which is funny because I'm kind of stubborn. I'm like, maybe God's telling me I'm supposed to be doing the program now and I'm supposed to leave baseball. So, I mean, for everyone else, it's pretty obvious. But for me, I'm like, maybe. I don't know. Because it's baseball. I mean, I love the sport. So it's tough for me to. It's almost basically part of my identity.
Sure.
Was that I was a baseball player, to be honest with you.
Sure.
And so I was like, maybe I'm supposed to leave. So then God sent someone else. 2 weeks later, I am speaking at our men's conference, and once again, a guy who I don't know, never met, haven't talked to since, comes up to me after I speak, and he just says, he goes, man, what you said was great. He goes, hey, when are you going to start that program? And I didn't talk about the program. That was the part that was crazy. I spoke about accountability and why we need fellowship with men in the church and why we should stick together because that will help us. I did not mention what God had called me to when I was 16. I didn't talk to him about the program at all. He was not even at the prophetic conference 2 weeks before. So he just comes up to me out of the blue and says, when are you going to start that program? And I said, wait, what? And then he walks away. So then I go, like, God, what's funny? Because nonchalant, that got my attention as opposed to the big, grand, prophetic thing in front of all the church members. You know, because I'm like, maybe these people have, I don't know, maybe they look things up. I don't know, you know. But this guy just walks up to me and just says, hey, when are you going to start this? So I basically tracked him down. I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? He goes, well, while you're speaking, I saw you running a program, and you're talking to your board members and to some kids.
Wow.
And he goes, I don't know what it is. He goes, all I know is it's going to be really cool. So when are you going to start this?
And again,
and it was like a challenge. It wasn't even like, hey, I'm just asking. He was like, so when are you going to start this? As in, like, when you need to do this. And since then, I've been working full time on Ripple Effect 22.
Okay, so let's make sure the listeners understand it. Those are people that didn't know you from a can of paint.
Yes.
Speaking into your life about a program that was actually birthed inside of you at the age of 16. So 17 years later, you're at a crossroads where baseball had become who you thought you were, became your identity. Some could say idol in your life, right? And the Lord wanted you to choose.
People have said that.
him or the sport. Is that a fair assessment?
That is a very fair assessment. The thing that happened after that was even crazier is that two teams called me relatively quickly after that. I'd say probably another 2 weeks or to a month, asking if I would coach.
Wow.
Because I mean, that was like my plan. Like that's the funniest thing. Like I was like, I'm gonna play ball and then I'll get into coaching and I'll do run baseball forever. Then they offer me a coaching job, 2 of them in the league, not like high school or college stuff, like pro baseball coaching. And I turned them down because I was like, I'm doing something else.
Well, the blessing though is that you are coaching.
Yeah.
It's life coaching. It's kingdom coaching, right? You're coaching for the kingdom, right? And you're on the biggest stage possible.
Yeah.
And the blessing is too, is that your team wins every single time, all the time. You know, they've got the batting averages may range from, a .001 to 900 something. Way below the Mendoza line. For those who don't know, you had to look that up online. But I'm telling you, and I didn't share with you, the art of living for yourself is you had the belief in God, in His plan for your life. You had peace about it as you begin to pray and seek God for it, and you love God and people enough, these children enough, to leave what you thought was your vocation of choice, right? To follow after Christ, right? So, and the word says, if you seek first the kingdom and all of its righteousness, all other things will be added. The finances, obviously, financial provision, same thing, but the protection for your family, those who aren't married, the spouses and the children and your health and things like that. So please, everyone that's listening, on the phone is Stefan Gartrell, founder, leader of Ripple Effect 22. We need to support. Go online, rippleeffect22.org. That's RIPPLE effect, EFFECT.org. Sorry, 22.org.
Yeah, the number 22.
22.
You don't have to write that out.
No, write that out. The number 2 and a 2. Like I said, back Chuck Wooler said, we'll be back in 2 and 2. But, you know, it's been great having you in the show with me, but I got to get people to understand. Support him. This is a great man of God. He's a great person. I've not known this brother very long, but I feel like I've known you a long time. And I want our listeners.
You, Craig. I just want to say that too. Like, we have great conversation.
Yeah. Likewise. And it's a divine appointment, like you already mentioned. There's some people that you know that you're going to meet for a season, and there's some people you know you're going to know for a lifetime. And I'm looking for either one of those to come and working with you. Preferably it's for a lifetime, but even if it's just for the season, you've played with guys that you said were great teammates for that season. So for whatever it is, however long our season is, let's work together, let's work hard, let's really kill it for God in the season.
Amen.
All right, everyone, we appreciate you for being part of the RZNGMEN Show. And again, have a great day. Be blessed.